two Go for the Throats is just better right now. I think your opponent, with one Doomblade, I don't think it's going to come up often enough. So here we are. Welcome to Round 6, everybody, here at the Star City Games Open Series in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm Gavin Verhey, joined here by Adrian Sullivan. We're about to see a pretty interesting match take place. On your right, Calosso Fuentes, friend of Jerry Thompson, disciplined player, playing pretty much a stock list of Esper Blade. Nothing too special here. I think it's Jerry Thompson's exact
I don't know.
list.
I think there's something special here. Calosso Fuentes. He's special.
On the left-hand side, Laskin, who is playing a really, really interesting green-white deck, or green-red-blue deck.
Right.
He leads on Birds of Paradise and Lotus Cobra here, mainly by Calosso. You'll see some crazy stuff happening here. He's mainly green-red. He's got a splash of blue for Unified Will and for Trinket Mage.
Right. So in the opening turns of the game, Bird of Paradise met by a land. Second turn, a Lotus Cobra is mana leaked. And now we're going to go to the third turn, where if he's got a land, Laskin is going to be able to cast, looks like a Vengevine. I don't think he has that land, though.
Goes for Nest Invader.
Nest Invader. He's got a Bolt in his hand, and I think Unified Will, Vengevine, and a couple other cards.
He definitely has an island. So he did have the land. He just opted to not go for it. And he just passes back to Calosso. For those curious on Lewis's list, it's got Birds, Goblin Bushwhacker, Goblin Guide, Hero of Oxid Ridge, Linowar Elf, Lotus Cobra, Nest Invader, Precursor Golem, Signal Pest, Vengevine, Trinket Mage, Lightning Bolt, and Unified Will. So a very interesting mix of cards here. You can go Trinket Mage for Signal Pest, which seems awesome to me, and simultaneously just insane in a crazy way. Like mentally crazy. Squadron Hawk comes down for Calosso Fuentes, and Lewis considering what he's going to do. Yep, and he goes for the Unified Will.
Now, Unified Will here, it could take out something more powerful, perhaps, but the Squadron Hawk is going to buy so much time for Calosso Fuentes that it's just going to end up influencing the way that the game plays out so strongly.
Especially if, I guess, there's a Bushwhacker kicked down for Laskin.
Wow. So,
serves in for 3.
Looking at his hand, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I did not see a Vengevine. Is there a Vengevine there or not?
I don't think he has it. He does have Precursor Golem, which he could have cast there, but he opted not to.
Okay, so Jace the Mind Sculptor comes down.
And
and Lewis offers the Goblin Bushwhacker as a possible target.
Yeah. Yep. He's like, well, what am I going to do here? Crap. All right, Fate Seal. Put it on the bottom. Calosso, I'm sure, just has no idea what's going on. He is baffled.
Okay. A grand total of 1 damage is viewable from the board here. Yeah. Not a whole lot.
Lewis has been playing pretty scrappy this game. All right, here comes Goblin Guide. Goblin Guide on Jace. What is going on? It's crazy.
He does have a Lightning Bolt in hand.
Flips over and Gideon.
Gideon is such a monster.
Including the Gideon in Colosso's hand. So yeah, Lightning Bolt on there. This is crazy. It's just the craziest mesh of cards. I'm looking at this deck list and what's in play, and these are not cards I would typically pair together at all. And yet, Laskin has done it in a crazy brew. Now the question is, what is Calosso going to do? He could go for Gideon, but is he afraid there's another Unified Will hiding in Laskin's hand? I think you have to go for it either way. We have a second Gideon. Laskin offers the Bushwhacker to be killed by Gideon, and Colosso's thinking about it. All right, kills the Goblin Guide.
Okay, and down comes Precursor Golem. Now, typically, a Caw-Blade list does not have much in the way of answers for this. However, the black version of this does have Go for the Throat, so that a single Go for the Throat, or even the Condemn, can take out the whole team here.
Blair to the side of this area, Judge Blair.
All right, and so Precursor Golem comes down for Laskin. And he condemns all of the Precursor Golems. So Lewis will gain 9 life, but that army goes away. Let's see. Looks like Calosso drew Go for the Throat there.
It looks like there's a Condemn there.
Yeah, he condemned all the precursor goblins.
Right, and he said go for the throat in hand?
Yeah, go for the throat in hand.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Alright.
Yeah.
So let's see. So, man, crazy deck by Lewis Laskin here. Signal Pest, Goblin Guide. Who has this kind of board position? Signal Pest, Goblin Guide, Birds of Paradise?
In comes Gideon for the big attack.
Dropping Lewis to a ripe 23 life. And I didn't quite catch what Lewis drew there, but it's prompting him to think.
He doesn't have very much gas left, obviously. The attack here with the Signal Pest and the other men can take out Gideon, certainly. But he kind of has to be wondering, why did Gideon attack?
I mean, it only deals 3 to Gideon, right?
1. There we go.
I mean, that's Bushwhacker becomes a 2, Birds becomes a 1.
And
okay, but he does have the bolt
for the kill.
Right.
And he's empty-handed with Gideon in hand on Calosso's side.
Yeah, so Gideon number 2 is going to come down for Calosso, and that played exactly where Calosso wanted it to be. So yeah, Gideon knocks off that Signal Pest.
Yeah, there we go. Murder that guy.
Yeah, I'm sure he's hoping for Hero of Oxid Ridge right now. Oh, and he drew it!
Wow. Wow.
Oh, very nice. Like, Calosso clearly unhappy.
He even fumbles the die there for a second. He's just so shocked.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, it has to be the card that he draws here, and it was. That's exactly what Lewis Laskin was looking for. Yeah, Calosso. He's like, what? You know, I feel like we're in Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. You know, what are they going to think of next? And it could just literally be anything in Lewis's deck, and he just has no idea. Like, you know, if he like draws and it's like a Barry Bonds rookie card, I don't think he'll be surprised.
Wow, that's funny. I like that. And is that a go? I think it looked almost
No,
like...
he just drew his card. And now he's thinking about it. All right, he taps 2. All right, here comes Squadron Hawk.
Oh, here we go. Caw.
So
there's 2 left in the deck. 1 has already been countered.
Right. So he can play both of the others if he wants, but we'll see if that's what he opts to do. Hero of Oxid Ridge, nice little ability, though, shuts off Squadron Hawk from blocking, so just going to get in for a clean 5 here.
Takes it. What's the LC going to do?
They'll drop Colosso down to 9 life.
What a pull. That is one of, like, just a monstrous top deck.
Yeah, that was what he needed. To be fair, he's got 4 in the deck, so it wasn't insane, but at the same time, like, he drew one of his 4s that he needed. So, well done by Lewis Laskin. That was just the card he needed to draw there. It's so cool to see innovation like this. I mean, we've seen innovation in the past, but...
Oh, and a bolt.
Did he just go bolt to the nug?
I think so. I don't want you to have a counter spell. I'm just going to bolt you.
Wow. So that drops Colosso down to 6. He knows that his hand was 2 Hawks. He just drew a land. Colosso gets in for 1. And let's see. Man, Colosso knows he's in a bad spot right now.
I'm going to tag in our coverage awesome man of the week, of the year, Glenn Jones.
All right. Okay, and in comes Hero of Oxid Ridge and Birds for 5, dropping Calosso down to what I believe should be 1 life. There, a lightning bolt was fired off on Calosso last turn, but it should be game regardless, unless he drew something rather spectacular here. It looks like Jace. That's a pretty spectacular one to draw, but I don't know if it'll be enough. He has to draw. He has to draw Go for the Throat. All right, he draws Seachrome Coasts, Plains, and Sword of Feast and Famine. That's not going to do it. And he shows him 3 lands.
Netters.
Yeah, and that's going to be it for Calosso. So, have you seen this deck, Glenn Jones? This is crazy.
Deck was written 2 hours ago, actually.
Is it up? Is it up online?
I don't know if it's up yet. We've had some technical difficulties, plus I'm slow. But yeah, it should be coming up soon. But yeah, the deck is very sweet. It started off as a green-red Vengevine deck, and then he saw a Rug aggro list that had, like, I believe the Trinket Mage Signal Pest, or no, the Unified Wills and maybe the Trinket Mage engine, and he realized he could hybridize the two. And it came together pretty nicely. It's got a lot of Army in a Can things it can do. It can come out of nowhere, which is really strong for a rogue deck. One of the ways you can prey on your opponents not knowing your deck list is by being able to kill them from nothing. And he's had multiple people, like, just not be ready to die, basically. He's got a Vengevine in the yard, and he has, just a Signal Pest in his hand, and he top decks a Goblin Bushwhacker, and it's like, oh,
I gotcha.
Got ya from nothing.
Like we saw in the last game, like Calosso was just bewildered, like what is going on here? But like at one point his board position was Birds of Paradise, Goblin Bushwhacker, Signal Pest. I mean, who has that kind of board state? It's pretty absurd. It's a really innovative deck. I mean, it's a very weird mix of cards I don't think you would come up with naturally. So it's a very unnatural kind of deck in the way it evolved, but the cards in it, I can see the synergies, all the kinds of small things coming together that really can make this a contender. Is Lewis 5-0 currently?
No, he took a early loss to Boros. His opponent played 3 Spark Mages in the second game, and then the third game mulled to 5, and again played 3 Spark Mages. And that was enough because his deck's really contingent on a lot of those one toughness guys. He had Collar also.
A lot of the creatures with 1 through 3 toughness, he needs those.
So, he was a little irate about that, but the deck definitely, it seems spicy. A lot of his other games have been much less close, I would say. Nest Invader's been really good for him because the token is a good attacker and a good mana generator, depending on what kind of game plan you want to take. And that's a really powerful and versatile interaction. He did point out, and I have in the deck tag, it's kind of funny, like Goblin Guide and Birds of Paradise don't normally play well together in a deck, but here, because of all the Battlecry stuff you can do, you can swiftly turn from Accelerator into Attacker, and Birds of Paradise has swung for the win more than once, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, we just saw in the last game, Birds came in for at least 4 or 5 points.
Yeah.
And it's weird because he started off with the start that was, like land, birds, land, Goblin Bushwhacker kicked, attack you for 3. And you just have these really scrappy plays, and I don't know, it worked out really well for him that game.
I especially like the Trinket Mages. Being able to Trinket Mage for Signal Pest is really nice for the deck because you don't have to inundate your deck with all these Signal Pests that can be really vulnerable. But he has the same basic quantity, and it also lets him run Spark Mage Collar post-board, where the Trinket Mage basically just becomes a Stoneforge Mystic instead of searching up Signal Pest.
Yeah, this deck seems really, really cool. So yeah, stay tuned to StarCityGames.com for the deck tech on this.
There are a lot of neat interactions with this deck. I like it a lot, and I hope it does very well.
I gotta say, if I was at home, I would build this up on Magic Online right now and try this out. So it's a crazy one. Yeah, I like this deck a lot, and I'm excited to read the deck tech on it. Did Lewis have anything interesting to say about his matchups when you talked to him?
Not really. He wasn't quite sure how the matchups work because he hadn't fully tested out the deck. A lot of the numbers were from combining the 2 decks. He wasn't happy about trimming down on Vengevines, but he felt like they just were too slow, and Hero was a much better 4-drop in his deck. And he's not really he doesn't want to just be going Nest Invader into Vengevine a lot. Like, that's not a very strong sequence.
Sure.
So he thinks he's found a good sort of a middle ground there. He pointed out, like, Unified Will, he's running it over Mana Leak because a lot of the times his opponents will try to kill a creature that's very important, like the Lightning Bolt, especially against Hero of Oxidridge, is really good, and a Mana Leak doesn't protect it if they leave up any kind of protection, whereas the Unified Will not only counter it, but also probably win you the game because they let the 3 up to try and pay for your Mana Leak. It just doesn't exist.
Yeah, Unified Will seems basically like a 2-mana hard counter in this deck. Like, it pretty much always counters what they're doing.
His biggest problems, he said, are like Spark Mages can be problematic, and Inferno Titan is a big deal. He very rarely defeats an Inferno Titan once it hits. Yeah,
I mean, you have to Unified Will it pretty much, or there's not much this deck can do.
Yep.
Wow. Really interesting. Really interesting. Cool. Anything else interesting happening out there on the floor in your investigations?
I've taken photos for our Facebook page, and there's a lot of people doing altered arts, the 3D cards, which is unique to this Open. There's always a few people doing it. I recall seeing Alyssa Spazzero, I believe is her name, doing it at a few other Opens. But this time we just have a lot of people out there doing it, and there's a lot of interest in that. So apparently, if you want to get cards altered, coming to the South is a pretty good idea.
I mean, it's a great reason just to come to more Open Series events. I mean, there's all these cool things happening. Like, even if you just come out and, you do badly, there's still so much cool things you can do.
Yeah, Star City, we're personally, we love stuff like that showing up, especially. We might, you know, you kind of want to make this almost like a carnival of sorts. Like it's its own little convention. So the more things there are for people to come and do or to come and see, it's even better. We sold a table to one of the vendors, the 3D card vendors. They asked to buy a table, and we sold them one because, you know, it's really cool. We don't have a problem with them doing that, and yeah, hopefully we get more offers or more interest like that in the future.
So there you go. If you've been altering cards, I know there are a lot of people out there who do this a lot, like alter cards, sell them online or whatever. If you want to come to one of the Star City Games Opens, contact us about it, and I'm sure we'd be more than happy to have you.
Yeah, our inventory and salespeople will be happy to work out something with you, I'm sure.
Definitely. A great event, all kinds of cool stuff going on. So it looks like the players have drawn their opening 7s, and they're off to the races. Colosso leads off with the Plains. Goblin Guide from Louis Laskin.
That's probably not what he really wanted to see. Not a land, not sure what it was. He does have to do that.
Yep. Good reason to lead on the Plains there for Calosso. And flips over Gideon Jura, and down comes Squadron Hawk.
He has 2 Gideons in his hand, I believe?
I think so, yeah. The second Gideon is pretty brutal, because the first one you can kind of eke out some advantage to deal with, but the second one...
I'm sure Gideon is a little tough for Lewis, however he does have the ability to hit hard, and Unified Will is generally going to be an answer a lot of the time. And
those Hero of Oxidridges do a lot of work in this matchup. A, because they prevent Squadron Hawk from doing their blocking thing, but B, they're really good at dealing with Gideon almost on their own, because if you serve in, that's 4 points already. The Squadron Hawks can't block, and you just need 1 or 2 other creatures, and that's going to kill off a Gideon.
That's a bullet revoker for Lewis. It probably named Gideon Jura, is that correct? Can you check, Rashad? I'm pretty sure it named Gideon Jura, given he just saw one, and it's the best card in his opponent's deck against him.
Yeah, I think you probably have to name it there. Yeah, it's interesting. I was looking through Lewis's deck, and he has all these one-ofs, but no Fauna Shaman. Yeah.
He said Fauna Shaman was Gideon? He said Fauna Shaman was too slow. Didn't want to play it, even with all the hasters to kind of regain some of that tempo.
Oh, fair enough.
And that led to the slicing of the Vengevines.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, less Vengevines. If you're cutting Vengevines, then you probably want to cut down on your Fauna Shamans, which, and vice versa. Makes sense. Preordained from Calosso.
Now, one of the things, I talked with Shine Surrounding for his deck tech, and one of the things he pointed out that made me very interested was Squadron Hawk against aggressive decks like Boros and this can often give a false sense of security due to the presence of Hero of Oxidridge.
Right.
Where you think that you can block or do or stay alive against anything, and against like Lewis, obviously Colosso knows Hero exists, but at the same time, is he used to playing around it? Is he used to keeping open the correct counterspells to make sure you can never die to it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a question of what the right play is. Like, do I attack? Do I leave back blockers? Like, what could happen? And he saw Unified Will too, so it's like, well, could he counter it if he goes for it? And this, gigantic mess.
There's so much going on there that it just makes it very hard to figure out what to do.
Yeah. It's a really interesting card. Hero of Oxidridge seems well positioned, and I can agree with Lewis's take that it might be better than Vengevine right now. And you probably don't want to play 8 4-drops, so.
Yeah, even with Nest Invaders and Birds.
Yeah, it's tempting, and the 1 Lenoir Elf.
Lewis is also psyched to be playing with Precursor Golem. He thinks it's a really good week for it. With Blue Black Infect forcing people to cut Doomblades for Growth of the Throats, he thinks it's probably Precursor Golem's week.
Yeah, I mean, the card seems really powerful, especially in a deck where you have so many interactions. Like, you can Unified Will with it, you can Battle Cry with it. Yeah. So let's see. That looks to be...
spots a Unified Will, a Tumble Magnet, a Trinket Mage, and 2 Nest Invaders.
Yeah.
The Tumble Magnet on the board is going to hold down that sword for a while. Colosso may take the second one in an effort to try and free himself up. Lewis doesn't have much going on threat-wise or mana-wise.
Do you think you take the Unified Will to make sure that your Gideon sticks?
Maybe,
or is that not what you're concerned about?
on Gideon already, and Colosso needs to find a way to kill that first.
That's true.
He may take Trinket Mage here, actually. That's like the most action card, I should say. Like, if he's worried about Lewis actually beginning to attack him. I think it's probably between the 2 blue cards or Tumble Magnet, depending on what Colosso wants to do from here. That's one of the powers of Cobblade, though. We don't know what to take because Colosso does. You have to know what Colosso's going to try and do next.
And on the flip side, for Lewis, it's one of the powers of Rogue decks, because he doesn't know what 1-drops are in Lewis's deck he can go find either with that Trinket Mage. Like, who knows what could be in there. So yeah, he ends up taking that Tumble Magnet and then serves in for 2.
He's probably going to try for eventually get aggressive here. And he doesn't really have anything going on other than Hawks and
It must have not named Gideon because that sword is not equipped.
It named Gideon. I think he just didn't want to spend. I think he's going to play the Hawk, or is he not playing Hawk?
You know, he attacked already this turn.
Sure, but I mean, I think he's going to like play a Hawk and a Quipple. He knows that it'll just get Tumble Magneted, so he'd rather just, yeah, he just plays all his Hawks instead.
All right.
He's just trying to get onto the board rather than being tempoed out.
I thought maybe he'd want to burn some Tumble Magnet counters, but apparently that's not the case, and it's just all Hawks all the time.
He can start burning the counters next turn, and he'll be dealing 3 damage each turn.
Right.
Instead of this turn only getting in for 1, and then next turn only getting in for 1 again.
Right. So Nest Invader comes down for Lewis, leaving up Unified Will mana, but Unified Will not going to do so much right now.
Yeah. That's another point. The Squadronauts have turned off the Unified Will for now.
Pretty convenient. So
that means he can stick Ginion even if you can't use him. Theoretically, that 2/1 should not be too hard to kill. But the funny thing about theories, you know.
And funny things about go for the throats.
Yeah.
Colosso currently gripping, looks like 2 Gideons and a land.
Nothing exciting.
Nothing exciting at all. Huh. Yep. So no equip there either.
He's going to enter the race. Does that mean he's going to play the Gideon and just hope it draws? Yeah, he's just going to hope it. It's going to be like, you know, hey, you can attack this some if you want.
Yeah.
That's fine. He'll win the race this way. And with the redundant one in his hand, it's probably a very reasonable line to take. Right.
So if you're Lewis, do you think you should fight off the Gideon, or do you like, well, like I just have to play for not having the removal spell?
It depends a lot on what he's going to try and do here. If he wants to continue trying to hold Unified Will or to make that card good somehow, then he's going to probably want to attack the Gideon and use the Unified Will's protection. But if not, then that Gideon, just sitting in play, is not doing anything. He may just want to continue to attack. Like, his deck can threaten a very significant race against Colosso's, so I think I'd just go for Colosso's face with this attack, probably.
Yeah, I think I would I would do the same.
The only worry you really have is Colosso drawing some way to kill your Revoker.
Right, and it pretty much has to be Doomblade.
Yeah, Laskin is also, like, he knows Jerry and the crew. He may actually just know what Colosso has available in the deck and that there aren't a lot of solutions to Revoker.
Yeah, I mean, let's see, looking through Colosso's deck. You can Jace it back.
Pretty much just Day, I think. As long as it's not attacking, yeah. He can choose not to attack.
And there's only a single Day of Judgment, or I guess if he boarded in the second one potentially.
He's got 2 available.
1 Disfigure in the sideboard.
Jace to bounce, I suppose.
Jace to bounce, and 2 into the Royals, I guess, but not a lot of options in any case.
So, either way, attacking is probably just better value.
So Lewis taps down the Sorted Squadron Hawk, bringing his Tumble Magnet down to 2 counters.
See, he's forcing Calosso to choose, like, how aggressive can he really get against this board.
And turns out one
Not
attack.
Very.
Yeah.
He does have a Creeping Tar Pit, which will allow him to make up the loss on his clock.
Yep.
So maybe it was a reasonable sacrifice here. Plus, the sword itself is a really obnoxious card to have to attack into for Lewis.
So that's Hero of Oxidridge off the top for Lewis Laskin.
Well, he can tap down the other Hawk and bash.
How much damage is that?
That's a lot.
That is a lot of
5,
damage.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
If it's 1 short, you still just go for it, right?
Yeah. I may have just counted it completely wrong, but I don't think I did. Oh, yes. No, I'm sorry. That should be lethal. He can tap as long as Colosso has nothing, because he has the second Eldrazi spawn.
Well, he has to lose the spawn.
He only has to lose 1 spawn, though. The other one works.
Right, yeah.
So he's got 3 from each of his guys, plus 1 from the spawn is 9, is 10, plus the hero is 4. Like.
Yep. Oh, but he's worried about Colosso's 2 untapped mana. Yeah. Go for the throat potentially.
Calosso getting a breather there.
Whew. I mean, the Hero of Oxidridge is probably still going to come back to be an issue, but now he's got 3 Eldrazi spawns.
He may also believe he can eventually get up to being able to pay for mana leak this way.
Or Unified Will backup
Sure,
also.
that too. Actually, you're probably right. He's probably just planning to keep Unified Will available as soon as he draws a land.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm sure he'll be watching this video later and being like, "Man, I could have just got it. Could have exact-seed him on camera."
Didn't even think about it.
I mean, he clearly thought about it.
Yeah.
Just decided the risk was not worth the reward.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lewis is in a pretty commanding position right now. And so with this position, he can just, can whittle down Colosso. Interesting. So he still opts to tap the Sorted Birds, or the Sorted Squadron Hawk.
I think that's very correct, because he wants to keep attacking this turn. And now Calosso is not threatening a legitimate clock anymore, compared to Lewis's, especially now that he knows he has the hero available.
Right.
As long as that Revoker's on the field to keep Gideon off anything, basically. every time Calosso attacks with a Hawk, he's trading dealing 1 for taking 2, basically, and that's not a good trade at all. Of course, little does he know, his Hawks won't be blocking anything pretty soon.
Very true.
One sick thing is that because Lewis didn't try and kill him, Colosso's much less likely to know or even assume that
Yeah,
Lewis
he's like, well,
has a hero.
he didn't try and kill me,
Yeah, like
so...
In Colosso's mind, like, Calosso knows he has nothing, so he'd probably be thinking, well, if I had a hero, I'd have killed me, so I guess I probably don't have a hero. I should probably play around not having a hero, I guess.
All right, so Calosso activates Creeping Tar Pit.
He's going to get in, I imagine, for 6 here. Yep. Oh, 7?
Thinking about it.
7's reasonable. But note that this will, when he re-equips the sword, tap him below Mana Leak. And that means Lewis is definitely going to try and kill him.
I mean, he can try and leave up like a Plains the Bluff Condemn, but there's no way.
Lewis will still definitely attack him.
And I think that's still lethal.
It's still lethal, yeah. So the game should be ending promptly now. Unless he just...
He untaps all of his
Untaps
lands.
everything. Oh, of course, the Nature's Will means that we don't have to worry about that.
Huh. Sword of Feast and Famine's ability.
Regardless, playing nothing.
I
I feel like Lewis is real likely to go for it here now. He's got 1 magnet counter.
I mean, he's also dead next turn on board. I think you just have to go for it. 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Well, if he had...
So Calosso can block with the Tar Pit too, which...
Changes the math slightly, but not any... Like,
Hero
assuming he takes
is
the
still
exact
lethal.
same line, the hero is still lethal.
Hero's still lethal.
The line being cast Hero of Oxid Ridge.
Yeah, and here we go.
He's
Hero
going to go for the...
of Oxida Ridge.
He's trying to do it with Unified Will backup, but that doesn't actually work. He can only cast Unified Will for 4 creatures, and if Calosso had a Mana Leak, he would just activate Tar Pit and play Mana Leak anyway, so...
Yep. But
actually,
it is...
needlessly sacrificed an Eldrazi Spawn there, but got him
But
anyway.
it is good enough.
Yes.
And that takes him down. Well, I think he's leaving up like Condemn or something like that, so he could... But it didn't matter.
Can't play the hero. It still